Green, green river laid out by my front door, and I'm miles and miles from the nearest store. Pot full of crabs looking fat and sweet, kettle of oysters at my feet, living on Chesapeake time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Laugh Smartly on WGMD's 98.5, the Talk of Delmarva. Here we are another week with my host, Lucky and Mr. Fun, as I'm staring at both of them wearing red hats. Again, on YouTube, you could see us with our swag. We each have swag.
New swag. We have new swag.
We have new swag, and we are looking forward to others getting swag. And speaking of which, our last contest, which was the Laugh Smartly group on Facebook.
Join the fan page.
The fan page, it was John H. from
Silver Spring.
Silver Spring.
Yep.
Got the hat.
Yeah. So I haven't delivered it yet. I have it ready to go. So
Okay.
John H., be ready for a delivery. Biff is, we're having a sleepover tonight. Biff is decided to come over tonight. And I was thinking we should have done that. That would have been a fun thing to, two of the hosts deliver the prize.
Did you do it?
Exactly. No, we have not.
We didn't do it.
Because that would have been a fun thing. He lost me a sleepover. It's
Right.
not a sleepover. I'm staying over as a guest in his and Mrs. Lucky's house.
I'd like to note that if you're watching on YouTube, the camera adds 25 pounds. Just to me. I look enormous. What is happening?
You look great.
Okay.
Stop.
Anyway, so Rockfish let us in again with Chesapeake time. It was warm a couple weeks ago. Now it has been cold again. It is spring has teased us.
So there's a lot. You ever heard of SAD?
Okay.
It's called the spring syndrome.
Okay.
People people are tired of winter and they want spring to come. A lot of people are getting the SAD,
Okay.
and it's because of the vacillation and it's warm and
Is SAD an acronym?
Yeah.
What is it?
it stands for seasonal affective disorder.
Oh,
So
I guess I've been sad.
yeah, Yeah.
You've been sad, Mr. Fun?
Like once.
Like once. That's it. In your
but when it turns warm in like March, you're like, oh, God, I'm looking so much forward to the spring,
Right.
and then all of a sudden you get some snow. It sucks.
Don't you think it's every year that we complain about the fact that it gets warm for a few days and then it gets cold?
March is around in the DMV is
Here
very
it comes,
like
right? Here it comes in like a month.
okay.
What March does?
Is that what it is?
April showers bring May flowers. It's windy all the time now too.
Yeah.
I have noticed that.
Yeah. At
You know
least
Go
go
ahead. Sorry. No, you know what I noticed about spring? When it's winter, all the trees are bare, and spring is such a relief.
Relief. Very good.
Really?
The arborists listeners would
Yes,
love that
yes.
kind of joke. They're probably going to be reusing that when they go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Fun, you always tease us with a joke. which
Oh,
is
yeah.
topical. Do you have a joke of the week?
So wait, this is kind of sad. I heard that Chuck Norris died. He actually died 4 weeks ago, but death was afraid to tell him. Chuck Norris is so tough, he carried his own coffin to the funeral. Chuck Norris doesn't dial the wrong number. You answer the wrong phone. Those are my Chuck Norris jokes.
Chuck Norris's show was what? He was a
karate guy.
No, he was a sheriff or a deputy. It was
Oh,
it was
yeah.
some-
That was after he became famous. He made a bunch of like karate movies.
okay, but he also had a TV show, right? It was pretty popular. He was 86 when he passed away. Do you know
Was he Texas Ranger?
that was it.
Texas Ranger.
Walker, Texas.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had his own form of like jujitsu. It was like Chuck Jitsu or something. He had this whole thing. He named it after himself.
Who knew?
Who knew? Thanks. You thought you would have known with your meme like jokes.
Because apparently he was like into his own memes. Like
Uh-huh.
he encouraged people to write them. I had no idea.
Yeah.
After he died, people were telling me how funny his memes are, and I started looking them up, and they were hilarious.
Good.
They're really.
Who's the
hilarious.
modern day Chuck Norris?
Biff.
Norris.
Biff.
I mean, yeah, me.
He is. He does want to be a good fighter.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unfortunately, the
aspirational.
guy that plays the actor Reacher beat up somebody this past.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
That was not a good thing. Not a good look.
Do you think
About riding motorcycles?
Do you think there are less fights nowadays than there used to be, like in our generation?
Let's fight some what?
Of just fighting, fist fighting.
Really?
Do you think there are less today than there were in the 80s, call it?
I would think that there's probably less today because there's less drinking if you're thinking generational, right?
Yeah.
The people that are stoned aren't fighting.
Yeah. I wrote a bad dad joke.
Okay, hey, let's bring that up now.
Do you know what they call it when you put a crayon in the beak of a rooster and he draws poop? Cock-will-doodle-doo.
Cock-will-doodle.
Not good?
What?
It was a lot of work.
Maybe on National Rooster Day, that joke would be good.
Wow. you threw, like, you went so specific with crayon.
Yeah.
Like it could have been a pen.
Yeah.
Pencil.
You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but I was really scared to get married because they say that 50% of marriages last forever.
Jeez. Okay. Hopefully the show's not feeling like forever. Lucky, what it's days. What days? National days.
Well, okay, we are in the spring, seasons, which is one of my favorite times of the year. I love baseball season and freshly mulched gardens, which is what a couple of my favorite things.
Freshly mulched.
Yeah,
not just gardens.
Right.
Yeah,
the freshly mulched.
The smell.
Okay, so the OC boat show is this weekend, which it's warm, springtime. Everybody starts to get their boats going.
Yeah,
I'm looking for Rob G to get his boat going to take us out. But so March.
Will either of you ever own a boat?
No, zero.
It's fun.
I will not own a boat, but I will freshly mulch my garden.
Yeah,
not a metaphor.
Okay, and then with spring, there's a lot of planning. I saw the statistic before I get to the national days: 91 million estimated number of trees that gray-headed flying foxes are responsible for planting along Australia's eastern coast by dropping seed rain when they defecate mid-flight, which is crazy. 91 million trees per year are
from flying foxes pooping in the air
with seeds coming out in their poop.
Really?
Yeah, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's such a cool thing.
I'm responsible for thousands of poppy seeds because I eat poppy bagels and poop outside.
But they don't grow anything now, right?
I'm sorry, guys.
Isn't that opium? Isn't that what it's an opium?
I have poppy fields. That's all me. That's
okay.
all me.
This week earlier, Maryland Day was this week, which was awesome. So, what's your favorite Maryland thing, Mr. Fun?
I like the flag.
The flag is awesome.
I like crabs.
Yeah.
I like Bay. Old Bay.
Yeah. Beth, what's your favorite Maryland thing?
I'd say, obviously, crab cakes are surely, I'm not sure they're invented in Maryland, but they're very good.
Yeah.
I like Scotty's vodka.
Oh, Maryland's
nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Are oysters Maryland? When you
they have them. They're another place.
I know, but
my favorite thing is the Maryland accent, the twang.
Because he has it.
Yeah.
He just calls it talking.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, okay. So it is, here's some of the national things. National Black Forest Cake Day, which is a German dessert. Biff, is that
you're looking at me?
Is that a dessert you enjoy?
I do like Black Forest. It has coconut and German chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake, cherries, and whipped cream. I don't think it has coconut.
Oh, well, a German chocolate cake has coconut.
Yeah.
Frosting.
Yeah.
But I would take Black Forest. Funny you say that. I had a Black Forest cherry candy bar on the way out.
Did you really?
I bought it at Royal Farms.
Did you know it was National Black Forest Cake Day?
I don't know, but it was meant to be.
Jeez. That's such a coincidence.
Yes.
All right. National Weed Appreciation Day. And it started off as the plant side of it, but everybody now, because they partake in that. So
wait. It started off as plant side. You mean like weeds?
Yeah. Focus on the importance of plants.
Okay.
They called, they didn't say National Plant Appreciation Day. Weed.
Now, weed meaning marijuana?
No, it started off as plants, but they were using, a similar term like weed.
Weed has taken over.
Yeah. But now because everybody smokes weed, the cannabis culture has taken over the day. So
do you know that smoking weed hurts your short-term memory? Do you know that smoking weed hurts your...
Wait, isn't their day coming up like 4/11?
4/12.
4/20.
Oh, 4/20.
What's that?
That's the weed day. 4/20.
Yeah. You know, my dad used to eat dandelion sandwiches. So that's a weed, right?
Yes.
Dandelions.
Yeah.
So I think, because I never ate them, you cut the yellow part off.
Right.
And you marinate it in oil and vinegar or whatever. and they put it on sandwiches.
I've never.
Well, I mean, but
Staten Island.
if you think about things like in a spring mix, right? Like salad that you buy in a bag,
Yeah.
some of that feels very meat-like.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's things like that.
Has anybody ever eaten dandelion sandwich?
Never.
You would never eat it.
Never.
Wait, the dandelion I see that's yellow. This is going to be embarrassing. Like a couple weeks later, is it the same white one that you blow?
I think those are two different.
Two different dandelions.
Two different weeds.
No, it might be the same plant.
Why don't we know?
Because
Research that. Research.
Is
that.
it the same flower that just turns? No.
So maybe it is though. Maybe that's how it spreads.
We used to do. Mama had a baby and its head popped off, and you flip the top. You did that?
Yeah.
Top of the dandelion. You didn't do that?
Yep. All right. It is also Respect Your Cat Day.
Okay.
And who has a cat? Mr. Fun, do you have a cat?
I killed the last cat a couple months ago.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. I got it to cross the beltway. I trained it to come when I snap.
So did you ever do you ever celebrate National Cat Day, Respect Your Cat Day in your house?
There are bad jokes that are inappropriate. I know. No, I do not. I do not. Do I celebrate cats at my house? I like cats.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about cats?
No.
When you had a cat, what was your favorite thing about a cat?
Nothing comes to mind.
The cats are my favorite thing about it. They're so much more intelligent than dogs, I think.
Oh, they're delicious.
Really, really
They
smart.
are delicious if you put them in a little kung pao sauce.
Oh, come on.
They are delicious.
All right. Also, did you know today is 3 Mile Island accident when it happened in 1979? Anniversary for that.
Okay.
Eiffel Tower opened in 1889,
Right.
which is interesting.
Which they were going to tear down. After they built it.
Oh yeah,
It was for the World's Fair.
and now it's
They
like
kept it as a
sustained.
landmark.
Really?
Yeah.
Eiffel built the Statue of Liberty, right? Same dude. And like the Panama Canal. Like really?
No, I don't. Not the Panama Canal, but I don't think Eiffel. Eiffel? Is that how I think that's how you say it. But
No, that's what happened when you were drunk on Saturday.
Eiffel. I don't know if he did the Statue of Liberty. Obviously, it came from France. I don't think he did.
We'll look that one up too.
Okay. Oh, speaking of corrections, but
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
look that up.
Yeah.
Rob G came at us a couple episodes ago. We talked about Pi Day.
Two weeks ago
Right.
on our show, we said pi r squared was
The circumference.
circumference, and he had to. Do you think he knew that it was actually radius of? It was.
No, it's the
area. Excuse me.
the
Area.
I don't know. He looks up. He's
Yeah.
got time on his hands.
He likes to critique us.
He's sort of a stalker of Laugh Smartly. He just, Right.
But we're pleased that he is a fan. He was very complimentary of the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, and the last anniversary day, National Something on a Stick Day.
Okay.
Okay, so celebrates foods that are served on sticks,
Right.
which there's a lot of great things.
A lot of great things.
So I decided we didn't do the host draft last week. I think Biff has won 4 of those. I won 1. We're going to give Mr. Fun an opportunity to win one.
So it has to be food.
So we're going to do a host draft. Best foods
Oh,
on a stick.
I have other things on a stick.
What do you got?
Okay. Do you want to do
Foods on
best
a stick?
things? You want to do best things?
Let's do best things.
Best things.
It could be food. It could
okay.
be food or
Best things on a stick.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm going to go first.
Okay. Who's
Okay.
going second?
Biff will go second.
Okay.
Mr. Fun will have 2 picks, and
Okay.
we'll do snake draft. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to go with shish kebabs. Okay. All right. As my first round pick.
I'm going to go with Mr. Fun on a pogo stick.
That is fun.
Mr. Fun.
What is
on
things
a-
you like?
on a pogo stick.
Things you like most, or food? What was the?
No, it can be anything. It could be a stick or
But what was the things you like most?
not best things.
Best
Oh,
things.
best
Best
things.
things.
Yeah,
All right. So you got 2 picks, Mr. Fun.
Are we ready?
Yep. Go.
So I'm like a bit of a foodie.
Uh-huh.
I would do meatball parm on a stick.
It doesn't. There's no such thing.
There is.
No. There not a thing.
I've made it many times.
No.
Doesn't it sound delicious?
No.
And
all pawn.
yes, and I would also do a banana dipped in chocolate.
That
On a
is
stick.
on a stick.
That's probably okay.
All right.
Okay. Banana on a stick.
Yes,
You're disqualified because there is no thing as
I made it.
chicken parm.
I made it.
Okay. All right, Biff,
Wait.
what do
Okay.
you got?
Okay. Wait. Should I take it back? I would like a slider on a stick.
What you're making stuff up.
You told me what's the best thing on a stick.
Okay.
These are the best things I've ever put on a stick.
I'm going to go with a dump bar.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Good one.
All right. I have 2 picks.
Yeah.
My first one was shish kebab. I'm going with Good Humor ice cream. Okay.
After Delmar, I'm not sure you can go. They're below
Right.
cool.
Okay. But that's what the original, ice cream on a stick.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh,
And
really?
I am going corn dogs.
Oh, that's nice. But they're not great. Are you a fan of corn dogs?
I like them every now and again.
Every now and again.
Okay. All
So
right,
you-
Biff.
I got to go next.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you get to go.
And Biff, so you get
Right.
Mr.
I get Tootsie Pops.
Ooh, good one.
Did you say like yours or did you have?
I said shish kebabs.
Shish kebab.
And what's on your shish kebab?
It could be a meat, a vegetable.
And because I can't do what's the Thai chicken?
Satay.
Satay.
Come on,
Satay that's a good one.
satay. Do I get another one?
Yep.
And I'm gonna go shrimp kebab.
Well, he already did.
It's shish kebab.
No kebabs, like
no,
anything.
I got the
do
kebab
anything?
corn.
All right, I'm gonna go the stuff that you stick in. No, I'm gonna go little tomatoes and little mozzarella.
Oh, that's a good one. Tomato mozzarella.
Yeah,
Okay.
and a little basil.
All right. Biff, what's your last pick?
He took my satay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I am gonna go with.
You have Mr. Fun on a pogo stick,
Yeah.
Dove Bar, Tootsie Pops.
And then I've got to go with what else comes on a stick? A stick. That is anything. My gosh.
Take your time. It's only a 45-minute.
I know. I don't. I'm at a crossroads here. A
How-
stick.
How about toasted marshmallows at the
Oh,
campfire?
Oh, s'mores.
S'mores doesn't count.
What?
S'mores doesn't come on a stick. The marshmallow is on a stick.
He said he made up stuff.
He's already
Did it
disqualified.
sound delicious? Did it sound?
All right, so we'll give you marshmallow on a stick
See?
to be put on a s'more.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm taking with my last pick.
I'm down by
I'm taking cake pops because I do research.
cake pops.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
so-
don't have time to do.
Okay,
this.
here's where we go. Lucky had shish kebabs, Good Humor ice cream, corn dogs, and cake pops. Biff had Mr. Fun on a pogo stick, whatever that is. Dove
I didn't know it was going to be food only.
Dove bars, Tootsie Pops, and marshmallows on a stick. Mr. Fun has chicken parm on a stick,
Yum.
which there's no
delicious.
such thing.
There is. Look it
Um,
up. Google it.
Banana, chocolate coated bananas
Huge.
on a stick.
Huge.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Satay, awesome. And the tomato mozzarella. That was a
So
great one on a
good.
stick. You get that at like Apple and
I think I get. I'm riding with just my 3 because you disqualified me for a delicious tasting idea.
Okay, so
little mini chicken kebab.
So we'll see. Contact at laughsmartly.com. We'll post this out here. Mrs. Fun is doing a great job with social media, by the way, getting all of our topics out and getting some.
Well, you notice the views. People are looking at.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
Yeah.
engaging in our stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's another. So big top.
Mrs. Fun of Greenily, your family only greener. No, what's it called now? I should know this. Wow. What does she call her? What does she call the green thing that I'm part of?
I'll look it up here.
All right. Yeah, she has a great company. It makes your family greener.
Help to recycle and take care of the environment.
Yes.
Here,
Which
let me
is-
look this up. Answer the
All
question.
Okay.
Hurry up.
Okay, here we go. All right, so if those of you who have been listening for the last 3 years, you remember in like year 1 we started talking about AI before AI ever became like a popular kind of thing,
When we thought it was Allen Iverson.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the next AI-like topic.
Right.
Okay, and it is going to start to be over the next couple of years. It's going to start to be super like discussed, popular. The term is peptides, Mr. Fun.
Okay.
Peptides, right? Okay. So what those are, they're new magic drugs to make you remember more, be young, tan, sleep better, whatever. So they're short chain amino acids that tell cells what to do. And there are all these unique combos that are being generated, mostly in China now,
Mhm.
outside the purview of the FDA, that people are starting to take in droves. Okay. And mostly like people with some money, mostly in San Francisco kind of thing. But there are some of these peptides that are super popular right now, like the Ozempic and Wegovy fit in this category. Insulin and collagen are the most popular ones. But there's all these unique blends of these things that like I think are going to be the things that people are sort of stacking on top of each other to make them like young, look good, have energy, etc. Remember more. I don't know.
So wait, I'm sorry. So Wegovy and Ozempic have peptides in?
No, they're a category of
Peptides.
of an amino acid. They're actually a combo amino acid that people are now taking for weight loss and diabetes.
But wait, it's about memory? I'm confused.
No. There are different flavors of
Right.
peptides, different cool amino acid combinations,
Right?
that are people
Combinations.
combos, you know,
Combination.
combos. But anyway, I mean, but these things are starting to really become popular. And I don't know, like Biff, would you take an injection every day of some amino acid that would like cut 5 strokes off your golf score?
An
An injection.
question. No,
You would not?
I don't want to take an injection of anything.
But if you guarantee that you know wasn't gonna mess
I guess I'm an aversion to needles. Why would I want to do that more often than I need?
would
Wait,
you
help me with the memory thing. You mentioned memory.
there are peptides
There's an iron.
that help you
Yeah.
remember more.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
So but would
You know, I had a ex-girlfriend that I remember dating her, and then she moved far away, and now she's just a distant memory.
okay.
So but to answer your question, taking things like peptides, just set aside the
Yeah.
injection. Why wouldn't you? If there's no,
Can I take a pill?
if it was a pill,
So they don't come in pill form. I think in the whole medicine area,
right?
taking something from a liquid to a pill is a very complicated process. That's why the Wegovy's don't come in pills.
No, I thought they just started.
Yeah, but they finally got to it after a
Right.
number of years.
Right.
But again, and the aversion most people have to taking peptides, things like Wegovy, is the needle. People
Right.
don't want to be stuck with it.
Right.
So it's very difficult to
You know, it
convert
doesn't
these-
hurt.
What? Shoot yourself with a needle?
Yeah.
How does that? How does it not hurt? You're shooting a needle. How long is the needle?
The needle's
It's a short.
needle size.
But it's short.
Yeah.
And what do you have to hold it? You hit it,
You push it in.
and then
And
does
then
the
you-
medicine? Do you have to press something after you put it in?
Yes.
The plunger.
Yes.
The plunger.
Yes.
And where did you put it in your stomach? Where'd you put it?
Yeah, I grabbed the fat around my belly button and I put it in.
Now, did you numb it the first time, like with ice or something?
No,
You don't. I know. I'm just a serious question because some people numb things.
no, I don't numb it. I push it in,
Okay.
and then every once in a while, like when my mom, that's a Freudian slip. When my wife was helping me, I would jump and pretend it hurt.
Yeah.
But that didn't turn out so well.
I did
Yeah,
that once.
yeah. Yeah, that was a
It
minute.
stuck me a second.
So there's a company, anybody who's interested in learning about these, there's a company called Superpower that sells members access to comprehensive annual lab testing. You send your blood in,
Right.
and they come back and tell you what kinds of amino acids would address challenges that they see in your blood. And so, look into
All right,
it.
so you've done the most research on this.
Yeah.
Fair. Is it going to change anything that you do now?
Not right now.
Why not?
Because I'm at the time, I'm not looking, unless some miraculous peptide comes out that says it'll make you live an extra 15 years. That might be something I'd be interested in.
Sure.
But right now, I'm not really concerned about my memory. I'm not concerned about my weight. I'm not concerned about looking tan or, those kinds of things. But there are all these new amino acid combos that address different challenges, and new ones are coming.
Okay. You took Prevagen, one of the first episodes we've ever done on the show.
Yeah.
You have said one of your things was to lose 7 pounds in
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
So that's memory, that's weight, and you
I don't need-
shaved your chest.
I was just
No,
gonna say,
I
what
don't
if it
need.
were-
I don't need a peptide to address those things.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
All right.
So, but anyway, all right. Look it up. Superpower.com.
I'm looking up.
Great
He yelled
company.
at me. Look it up.
I'm just like, okay.
Don't get mad at me. It's Biff questioning your commitment.
Okay. Here, I saw the other thing this week. Okay. A new trend in taking drugs.
Okay.
Okay. All right. People are smoking paper.
Where?
Okay. So the trend is starting in prison. Okay. Okay. So prison, there's a lot of contraband.
Where they make their own booze.
Make their own booze. Yeah. They're all, they got, 30 years to kill. They need some diversion. So, drugs and alcohol, or if they can get their hands on them, or, the way they can, take their mind off being in prison. Anyway, one of the new ways that prisoners are getting high
Uh-huh.
is they're smuggling drugs in on paper. So they're taking liquid versions of like drugs, all kinds of
like acid.
yeah. Well, things like fentanyl is one of them, but tranquilizers, other stimulants, cannabinoids, and so what they're doing is they're smuggling it in on paper. Okay, and then they're lighting the paper and inhaling the paper.
Okay,
and they're getting high that way. So, but it's interesting the different ways that they're like bringing in, like on their legal documents, they're having the lawyer bringing in they're appealing their case. The lawyer's bringing in like 100-page document that the prisoner's supposed to read. Page 76 is like, you cut the corner off.
Lawyers help them.
Well, they, that's one thing. Yes,
Okay.
yeah. But the other way is these drug dealers are so smart. They've created Amazon bookstores.
Okay.
The prisoners are ordering books from Amazon, which is allowed in prison.
Oh, that are already laced with drugs.
That are coming from the Amazon bookstore.
Right.
That's by the drug dealer. Page 74 has got a bunch of drugs on it, and that's how they're getting into the prison.
Wow,
which is crazy. I mean, and how are you supposed to stop that?
They said Snoop Dogg's going to be smoking pot when he dies. They said he'd be rolling in his grave.
Rolling in his grave. Okay.
No, sorry.
I just had this thought, and as I was thinking about it, I realized how stupid it was at the moment. I go, they have matches in prison. I mean,
yeah, you're allowed to smoke there.
Yeah, I was just thinking, they allow people to have things that make fire,
right?
In prison, you're not allowed to have any other dangerous thing in prison, but you can burn something.
I guess
it just
so.
feels a little. Again, I will admit that as I was thinking it, it's not the smartest.
Well, what's happening? Like, so there are all these synthetic drugs,
Right.
which are challenges on the outside too. I mean, they're coming in; they're so potent and powerful that people are dying. They don't even know what they're getting when they get their page out of the book.
Here's another silly question from my side: why can't they just swallow the paper? Wouldn't it give you the same high?
I don't think so. I think smoking.
You gotta love the smoke.
Like if you swallow marijuana, it doesn't. It gets into your bloodstream quicker if you smoke it.
What's in that?
It gets into your bloodstream quicker. Probably.
Okay.
I guess I don't know. I'm not a doctor like that, Mr. Fun.
You're not a doctor, right?
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But anyway, I thought it was like a crazy way for people to get high and drug in prison is to smuggle it.
Right. When I was in college, I asked this girl if she smoked after sex, and she looked on the sheet. She goes, "I've never checked before."
Very good. Speaking of prison, I'm going to talk about one thing that caught my eye, which I think got some national attention just because of the sheer strangeness about it.
Yeah.
The guy from La Plata, Maryland, Dayton Weber, double amputee.
Yeah.
Murderer.
Yeah.
Accused of murder.
Cornhole champion.
ACL, so American Cornhole League. He was a player of the year in the years. Again, this guy has no arms below his elbows, effectively, and no legs.
He was accused of what?
He is accused of shooting a guy and killing him in his car while after he was driving. But again, let's think about this. The double amputee is
driving and killing at the same time.
And one not only accused of shooting the guy, again, holding the gun. If you see the videos, it's interesting to watch him shooting the gun because he's got no arms, basically. And he was also accused on top of it of battery. So he was beating the guy that he ultimately shot while he was driving.
You got to look at you got to look him up.
Yeah.
Because he's got videos of him shooting guns, climbing a ladder.
Right.
Like, I can't imagine if he had all his extremities.
It'd be really dangerous.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. And he drove then, after he killed the guy, drove to Charlottesville, Virginia.
To dump the body?
I don't know. Maybe he was dumping it, but he was extradited back to Maryland. He's
27
years old.
How pathetic is no offense to the guy who got murdered, but how pathetic is that you got killed by a dude with no arms and legs? I mean, come on.
I mean, at what point, again, the guy is trying to drive with no arms, right? He's got to reach down somewhere to get to the gun. So the guy in the front, again, to your point, Lucky, the guy that got killed that was in the front passenger seat, he doesn't make a move.
Yeah.
He did it seems like a minimal amount of effort would keep the gun from being pulled up.
It was a dilemma for the police because he was unarmed.
When they found him,
They came. They were like, put your hands up.
I can't.
And then they were like, cuff him. They couldn't cuff him either.
But
They couldn't cuff him. He was unarmed, and he couldn't put his hands up.
again, he was the player of the year in the American Cornhole League, right?
Wow.
So, and
Is there a non-arm division of American
I saw
Cornhole
him
League?
playing next to somebody able-bodied. That's what I saw. He's tossing the bag towards the thing.
What's worse, getting murdered by that guy or losing to that guy in cornhole? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I'm stumped. Is that mean? Sorry.
That's pretty.
They were like, now up, Matt.
Bob.
You guys are terrible.
Anyways, that was it's worth following. We'll have to follow.
Yeah, we got to follow up with that story. Follow him through the court system.
Yeah. Speaking of other doubles,
Yeah.
so baseball starting this week.
Uh-huh.
I think you mentioned in the outset with you about baseball in spring. It's saying spring, right? Spring, and opening day was this week, so a lot of teams play. Does every team play within the first couple of days?
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
So that was this week. But I read an article in the Wall Street Journal, which is interesting, that doubles and triples, which they say is arguably one of the most exciting plays in baseball, because it's usually somebody stretching a run of some sort, and the ball obviously not going out, are down to their lowest level ever. And they're trying to figure out why. It's because it's the data thing, the stats thing again, is that teams have figured out it's better to give up a single. So they play all their outfielders are playing 15 feet further back, so the ball doesn't go over their head as much as.
But they could have always done that. Like, why is that a new phenomena that they play back versus?
Because this is it's better to swing for the fences, get home runs, and a single isn't that important in the end of the day. It's moved on, so they're just trying to keep people at lower at single bases, obviously, and multiple bases. So they're trying to figure out what to do because they're worried about the excitement of the game. Yeah, Mr. Ron.
Well, I have a different comment.
No problem.
So my buddy who played, he was a really good catcher. And he was saying that catching in baseball is different right now because you were taught to frame the strike zone, you know? And if you wanted to convince the umpire of a strike, you may pull it in a little bit, pull it out a little bit, whatever. Watch baseball. This spring, I've never seen it. The catcher makes he positions his glove where he wants the pitcher to throw it. Then he puts it flat on the ground. You got to watch this. And then what he does is he pulls it up into the strike zone because he thinks he can fool the umpire that way rather than moving what he has framed already out of the strike zone.
Well, they do that also so that the batter doesn't see where the catcher's set up.
But what's interesting is he's still framing it initially. Yeah. But watch what I'm saying. I think it's bizarre. I saw it for the first time during spring training.
Yeah. So this going back to my thing on the doubles and triples. What they are thinking that one of the things they may contemplate is putting a line in the outfield that says the outfielder can't go back that
changes it too much.
But it's the same as the what do they call the ABS, the video, right? They're starting that this year, right?
The challenge.
Yeah. So and they've changed this the lead off on the first.
Yeah, you can only throw over 3 times.
Right. So
the base is bigger.
Baseball is trying to future-proof the game. So why wouldn't they think about that? I mean, what you say, no, but they eliminated the shift. They're allowing challenges of pitchers, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
And they've done this thing about stealing on first base.
I think doubles and triples are down. I think again, I didn't read the article, but I think they're down because the shift they got rid of the shift. Now the baselines are occupied by
the shift. Basically said if a guy couldn't hit the left field, they just moved everything to right. That was the prevention of that. Rarely were they hitting at the left field, right?
Are outfielders more athletic, so they get to the ball faster? They have stronger arms, or no?
I don't think dramatically over that.
If they want to increase the amount of doubles and triples, they should just eliminate one of the outfielders. They should only have 2.
No, they're not saying to eliminate. They just think that because the data has said that singles are okay to give up, they've just pushed them back.
Yeah.
So if they want to make sure that the games again. Baseball is trying to be proactive about it. They've shortened the games half an hour.
Yeah.
Right. They know that the challenge is taking only now that they'll only add 14 seconds to the entire game. Right? It's some ridiculously low number.
Right.
So they want to make sure they can get more people watching the game, an exciting game.
Yeah.
That's to their credit.
Yeah.
I'd say that.
Here's my big beef with baseball
What?
this year. Okay. Opening day
Mhm.
is actually opening night,
Right.
and it's not shown. It's on Netflix. The first game of the baseball season
was on Netflix.
Yeah, San Francisco Giants versus the Yankees on Netflix, which is just odd.
But football's been doing that.
Yeah, but America pastime, put it on a regular station.
But maybe they wouldn't have been on. Maybe it would have been a regional.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
I sort of think it's un-American, to be honest with you.
I know, but they're putting football games on Prime, and they put other things on Netflix.
Yeah.
Again, we're a big generation.
Yeah, you're right.
another
You're right.
generation, so I'm
It
not
just
sure.
seems just to me, it's a hard pill to swallow being on Netflix. Although I can watch it,
Yeah.
and I watched it.
The
but
final thing I say about baseball, which I know it's you guys, this whole issue that strike zone is different size.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't a team get more shorter batters? Because effectively it lowers it makes the strike zone not as tall.
they maybe have less power. The short
But
versus
it's going to be harder for a pitcher.
Of course.
But it's got to be harder for a pitcher to hit a smaller zone.
I think if you looked at the stats, baseball players are taller today than they were in prior
Oh, I
generations.
have no doubt about that. But the interesting thing is that they now have 12 cameras watching each game, and they change the strike zone by batter.
Yeah.
Because they have the height. That's what they do. I found that to be interesting. But it seems to reward somebody that's slightly shorter versus slightly taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not built on your stance, is it?
No, it
Does your
goes by height.
stance
No, they're doing it by height, and it's 57% of your core. That's how tall the strike zone is.
Okay.
So if you're 6'8", it's 57% of 6'8". If you're Jose Altuve, which is 5'7",
Mhm.
it's 57%.
Doesn't matter how he's standing in the batter's box.
Right. Doesn't matter how he's standing. It's just got to be consistent. That's what they're doing. They measure some like near shoulders down.
Yeah, in growing up, the whole strike zone was from the letters to the knees.
Yeah.
And in the modern day baseball, it's so different.
Yep.
Which is it's sort of hard to define.
Yep.
Right.
But anyway.
So since you mentioned Netflix, and I'll just do my personal gripe about cables. I just mean cables. I don't mean cable TV, but related to cable TV is when your cable goes out, we all have our cable go out. You sit there, you try to do it on the screen, whatever, and ultimately you have to go unplug the cable box. And it's the coaxial cable, and we've all must have struggled with this damn cable, which is the one with the little wire in the middle that you got to unscrew.
Mhm.
What feels like the tightest thing ever to unscrew, and it's awkward to get to. It's got to be the most antiquated piece of technology. Why has nobody improved upon the coaxial cable?
But wait, wouldn't you be mad if they replaced it with somewhere you had to replace all your cables?
No, it's just one. It's the single cable that comes into your house
Yeah?
for the cable TV.
Oh.
It just strikes me that it's a better system than this awkward cable that it's hard to unscrew or not.
Yeah.
Well, I think eventually everything will be wireless. But
Yeah, no, I
but
understand
the
that.
technology has been built so that it's going under the ground into the house. And
So
that's
you
the way.
think so we're obviously I have a wireless house inside, but the cable is the one thing that provides
Yes.
the wire. You're saying it's going to be wired. Yeah.
Yeah, they say that electricity at some
Okay.
point is going to be
So
wireless.
they've given up on aiding people struggling with
But they're not there
coaxial
yet.
cable.
It's not. I think the technology is there.
Okay.
But I think the expense to retrofit,
Right.
communities and is
Right.
is too much right now.
Right. The other one, which I'll say, just because I've done a bit of traveling recently, you travel with your cords, right, to charge your phone,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a USB rectangular bit on the edge of your phone.
Uh-huh.
So you plug in your car, whatever. How many times you don't get it right the first time to plug that freaking thing in?
Lucky was telling me his sex life is like a USB. Takes him 3 times to get it in there right.
But
Yeah, I mean,
it happens. I guess.
It happens.
But what do you think your hit rate and getting that cable? in
You
the
know
right
how to
person-
solve that problem?
How?
Buy some more cords, so you don't have to switch your cords out.
I'm traveling. If I'm traveling, every hotel now has USB plugs in.
I ate a USB.
What?
In one bite.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay. So notwithstanding, I could buy more cables.
Jesus,
But
I don't know. This is
I'm trying to diffuse this. He looks very angry.
I don't know if this is an issue for the rank and file
it's not an issue.
citizen.
When you plug in a USB port, you've never gone
No,
and never gone.
no, because I know to just turn it over and pop it in.
Okay, but my point is, like, shouldn't it be just on the first shot 100% of the time?
It's
I heard the guy with no arms and legs. That's why he killed the guy, because that guy was trying to put the USB in the wrong way.
it's like the equivalent of
Look
saying,
how mad he is.
I was just thinking the guy with the arms and legs would probably do it.
Right, he would do it.
it's like the equivalent of like you're about to brush your teeth and
Right.
you like just miss your mouth. Move it over and put it in your mouth. I mean, it's like something like that.
Yeah, it's not as easy for some people.
It isn't.
You're gifted.
Biff, are you experiencing the annoyance economy?
No, the annoyance of the two of us. Nothing to do with the economy. It has nothing to do with the economy.
Yeah.
Well, if any, okay, contact at laughsmartly.com. Biff needs some advice on the USB cord to optimally plug it in so he doesn't waste 1 or 2 seconds every time he plug it in.
It's an annoyance. Okay, what's the annoyance economy?
So, okay.
Wait, I'm so upset right now. I got the USB in the wrong port. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right.
I lost it for a minute.
So along this lines, these annoyance with technology, everyone, the customer success annoyances that we have, you know, you call up the number and you got to hit 1 to talk to someone, 2 to change your bill address, 3 to blah, blah, blah. Okay. So there's a company did this study. It's called Groundwork Collaborative did this. And they found that the annoyance economy, the excess time that citizens spend in those doom loops of the phone numbers,
right,
wasting $165 billion worth of people's time.
Wait, how do they calculate that?
The average amount of like hourly rate of someone like a regular worker times the amount of time that they spend on customer service, death loops.
Right.
Okay. Which is crazy. So that's not even the stat that they came out with that interests me the most. The one about being an annoyance economy, how much companies make off of to increase their bottom lines on not diverting people and frustrating people so much that they don't get their refund. Well,
that's where I was going to
get their bill corrected.
That 165 billion is offset by 500 billion in the other one.
Yeah. It's the firm's revenue all in 14 to 200% higher when it's harder to cancel subscriptions or follow up on a problem with your bill, that kind of thing.
Well, although there is a federal law, correct me if I'm wrong now, on subscriptions, right? You've got to have an easier way to cancel those.
Yes,
that's one small.
That's probably a last administration law that came in.
It was a Congress thing.
Yeah.
Congress.
So one of the things though, like the problem with all these companies make it so hard people to get their refunds,
right,
challenges with your healthcare bills, which is a big one. There's not a lot of government oversight over like making sure the consumers are taken care of.
Right.
So so many people are getting frustrated and like talking to bots and that kind of thing.
Right.
And the fact that you see people like they're talking to a bot or on a phone, you're like, representative, like people are just getting frustrated, to try to get to a person to talk to and they can't get it.
Right.
So, but there is big money in that frustration for companies and it's a big waste for, consumers. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting that, the fact it's a business strategy,
right,
to have bad customer service
or bad USB. Just to bring that back.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, he got that off his chest.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel relieved now.
Me too. Me too.
All right. And one of my last stories is, and this was a big bummer,
right?
But the Bachelorette season got canceled, which is a great
after big promos.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So this year, the Bachelorette focused on Taylor Frankie Paul, who is a major like social media influencer, reality TV star. She became popular in like The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and she was like a big promoter of soft swinging lifestyle, Biff, which is
right. Well,
I'm just saying it's a fun thing, Biff, Mr. Fun. Soft swinging is like
what is it?
What is it?
What is it?
But anyway, okay. Here's the thing: the absurdity of this.
Okay, they
canceled this season of The Bachelorette because a leaked video from 2023 from a fight that she had with her ex-partner resulted in her. She got arrested for domestic violence.
Right.
Okay. ABC was about to pawn her off on some poor bachelor.
Because they knew about the prior.
ABC did.
Right.
ABC did, but the public didn't know about it.
Right.
So the video got leaked, and they had to cancel it because they can't be having this domestic violence.
What?
She's a Mormon.
Yeah,
She's a Mormon.
It was a Mormon wife.
She's a Mormon, and
She got caught. The video of her beating up her boyfriend or partner at the time.
Got
years
it.
ago.
Yeah.
I heard that they had video of her saying Brigham Young.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Brigham Young.
So, but here's the thing. Okay, canceling this costs
Not a lot of Mormon jokes.
costs ABC between $30 and $70 million.
The production and the advertising.
Yeah.
They
But-
promoted it on the red carpet at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
but
big
but
time.
but ABC deserves to lose this money.
Yeah.
But it, and on social media they're talking about, should Taylor be liable for the 30 to 70 million?
What are you going to do with your Tuesday nights now?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch something else. But baseball on Netflix,
Right.
Baseball.
Good idea. Or cornhole for amputees.
Cornhole.
Yeah, amputees. With the ping pong.
Right.
All right. Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Bring that
We need some of the music back
Yeah,
again.
yeah, okay. I got enough. So I couldn't fit the cord in.
You should see the studio, by the way.
Yeah.
You can see us three on it.
Yeah.
What's behind you is amazing.
All right, we're going to bring it home here. Would you rather? This is going to be a first parter, which will then lead to a second part. So the first parter is, would you rather lose your sense of smell or your sense of taste? I know they're somewhat related, but assume you could bifurcate them.
Easy one. Easy.
What is it?
Smell.
Okay.
I'd lose that in a second.
Me too.
Yeah. And I didn't take long. I would lose that as well. Okay. So we all assume you'd rather lose your sense of smell.
Right.
Okay. Here's the next part. Would you rather lose your taste or your ability to hear?
It's their ability to hear. I'd say taste.
You'd rather lose your taste
Yeah.
at that point and
Yep.
still hear.
Yep.
What would you rather do?
Mr. Fun.
You're asking the fat guy. I love tasting things.
Do you think you would eat less if you couldn't taste?
I would eat a pizza like what?
I didn't
What?
taste it.
I can't hear it. This is delicious pizza. If we're talking about the pizza,
You're saying I'm
delicious.
fat? I can't even hear you. What?
That's right. You couldn't hear all the compliments.
Right.
The comments.
I would.
You couldn't also hear you lost weight either if you took the other way.
First of all, I've never heard that.
You did back in the day.
Back in the day, it's withering.
I would. I think I'd lose my hearing.
You would?
Yeah, I think I want to keep tasting.
Would you start reading lips?
Yes.
Okay. And sign language? You'd have to sign, Biff.
I turned your microphone off a long time ago. I can hear. I know exactly what you just said.
Right.
So see, there you go. So,
Right.
all right. Do you have Mr. Fun? Do you have a joke to bring us home?
Is that time?
Yeah, it is that time.
So this guy, and this is supposed to be sort of the rude joke, right at the end. Just I want to be sure.
Risque.
So this guy comes into a bar, and the bartender says, "I haven't seen you for a while," and he goes, "Yeah, I was here a month ago, and whatever you put in that drink made me go home and blow chunks." And the bartender goes, "Well, you could have come back. That happens to a lot of people." He goes, "No, Chunks is my dog."
Jeez. Okay. Lucky is what I often say. If people want to comment on the joke, how do they go?
Well, on all the social media,
Right.
you can. We have all kinds. All the you've seen all these clips of us doing our thing. But if you want to send us an email, contact@laughsmartly.com.
Exactly. And so to Lucky's point, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, fan group, Facebook. Last
Yep.
Marley's the fan group. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Fun's podcast
Yes,
is Green Living for Real Life podcast.
that's right. I enjoy it. I live it every day.
And you're a co-star on the
I am.
podcast.
I enjoy it every day.
So anyways, like and subscribe and share, everybody, please.
Subscribe. That's the only way we're ever get famous.
Thank you again for listening on WGMD's 98.5, The Talk of Delmarva. Good seeing you guys. Until we do it again next week, thank you, everybody, for listening. Until then, thank you and goodbye. Little over, right?
We had laughs.
What was that? What was the one with the no legs? I'm stumped. I'm stumped.
I'm stumped.
That was great. That was great.
So mean. I don't know. I'm stumped.
We have a whole
Put your hands up.
whole segment that
He was unarmed.
National Amputee Day next week. We're going to be in trouble.
He was unarmed.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just stumped.
Green, green river laid out by my front door, and I'm miles and miles from the nearest store. Pot full of crabs looking fat and sweet, kettle of oysters at my feet, living on Chesapeake time.